Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Football Stooges. This is another one of our deep in the off-season episodes, so sorry for the recent hiatus. We have all been busy with vacations or different aspects of life, and the NFL has been kind of on the low end of news. There's been a couple things here and there, but nothing hefty in large quantities, so we're going to be able to cover most of it today. We will have back-to-back episodes as far as week to week, this week and next week. We will have this week. We're going to have our another off-season recap for stuff that's going on recently as we've been away for the last month. And next week we will have our Football Stooges' first ever fantasy football draft. So hopefully that all goes well. So yeah, two straight Fridays of episodes, and hopefully we'll continue it on from there. We'll just see what the news is like, and again, I'm not big on like trying to create news where there isn't news, so we're going to be reporting what we can, when we can, and how we can. As always, I can't do this myself, so beside me, as always, the one and only Philly man himself, Macedon.
What year is it?
Oh yeah, Dan Snyder is finally getting ousted. I don't know what year it is either. It's finally happened. Oh, all right. And as always, we're a little light on the crew today, just the three of us. But as always, this man is always welcome with his hot takes and just horrible choice in sports teams as of the recent couple months. It's K-Duff.
DeAndre, whatever the Bills said to you, we can smooth it over. Just please cancel the thing you did with the Titans. Come on back. We can smooth it out. Belichick or Brian, we can get rid of either of them. Just please don't sign with the Titans. I swear to God. Oh my God, why? I thought you wanted to go to a contender.
I guess we'll start with that news. We'll start with DeAndre Hopkins has officially signed or is going to sign with the Tennessee Titans. This is kind of a shock. Obviously, he went from the Arizona Cardinals, who are starting a rebuild, and they still have Kyler Murray in the quarterback position, which is a rough spot to be in, at least in my opinion. Some people still think Kyler's the answer. There's a lot of, what ifs there, especially him recovering from ACL surgery. DeAndre Hopkins wants out. The Cardinals don't trade him, which is already puzzling. Maybe they couldn't get something for him because of his contract. He then walks, or I believe he actually gets cut. DeAndre Hopkins then goes out into the open market and now signs with the Titans after saying he wanted the chance to win a ring. All I know is that by like week 3 or 4, he's going to request another trade when he's got Mayonnaise Boy and Ryan Tannehill throwing him the football.
That might take two. I have no idea what he thinks he's going to do in Tennessee. They've been on a bit of a downswing since that fever dream of a run in 2019, and I don't see them getting anywhere close to a divisional round berth this year. Especially with the rest of the AFC South kind of on the upswing with the Jags, Houston, and Indy got new signal callers and new offenses to work with.
The Texans pulled in a lot of talent. The Colts, it all depends on if Anthony Richardson is good, which is a big if, but, there's aspects to that. It puzzles me as well. Wants to go to a Super Bowl contender and goes to the Titans. I don't see how that works.
Neither do I.
What was the only... It was only the Patriots and Titans that was actually looking into him, right?
Yeah.
Or was there any other teams?
A ton of teams could have looked into him, but also the issue is that don't they have to pick up some of the contract he was paid from the Cardinals, which is a decent chunk of change that not a lot of teams are able to get to at this point in the offseason.
It's also a cap space or just roster spot thing, because a lot of the teams he wants to go to are contenders, like the Chiefs, Bills, Eagles. They already have very full wide receiver rooms. Their cap situation might not be enough for a decent deal that he wants. So I guess that's another reason why they couldn't make it done or get it done.
Yeah, it's interesting and just obviously perplexing. The whole system of things. Cardinals couldn't trade him. He got cut. Wants to go to a Super Bowl contending team and then goes to Titans. It's just puzzling.
It's mind-boggling, I know.
And the Titans just replaced AJ Brown a year later with AJ Brown.
Well, what they thought was AJ Brown, but turned out to be Traylon Burks.
Well, I mean, the roster for them hasn't really changed incredibly. Their best player is still Derrick Henry. Now they have another top wide receiver, and the quarterback throwing to him is.
Yeah, right now.
At least there's one positive. They got rid of offensive coordinator from last year. Todd Downing.
Yeah, but they also lost. They also didn't re-sign Taylor Lewan, who was a really good left tackle. That's going to leave a hole there. Derrick Henry's great. He's getting older. How much is he going to be able to carry himself? He needs a great line to run behind. I mean, I admire the loyalty, and that's something you don't see a lot in modern sports anymore. But at the same time, like, if I was Derrick Henry, man, one of the premier running back specimens in the last 20 years. Like, I don't think we've seen someone as good as him since Adrian Peterson.
That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, still. But, like, him and AP are up there for, like, the top running backs in the 2000s, right? I mean, there's also, like, Reggie Bush is in there, right? But, like, as far as longevity and effectiveness, it's the small group, and he's in there. But at the same time,
running back disrespect has been seeming to be the theme this week, too, for a bit of a segue into our other topic. The franchise tag deadline happened this week with multiple running backs on NFL teams that were looking for long-term deals, not getting any of them. Most notably, Saquon Barkley on the Giants, Josh Jacobs on the Raiders, Tony Pollard on the Cowboys, and free agent Dalvin Cook as well, who was a cut or waived from the Vikings, I forget.
Cut.
On the same time Hopkins was.
Cut. That was another weird, like, why wasn't he traded situation. But again, it seems like you said, the NFL is not, at least teams are not really prioritizing getting running backs. They're not wanting to have high-class running back talent,
Which I'm not really understanding with some of these teams. Like the Giants, they have Matt Breida, but Barkley was basically your main rusher last year.
Giants, how do you like that contract with Daniel Jones now?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The Jacob situation, I feel like it's just another effective Josh McDaniels head coaching style where he's just pissing off star players or their Raiders in general are just, their organization is just pissing off players, so they just want out. So he was most likely gone. The only one I feel optimistic about is Tony Pollard because he's at least signed the tender and has been attending off-season programs. The rest are either looking like they're holding out or have been missing some OTAs already this week.
Yeah. I mean, again, with Dalvin Cook's skill set, I mean, maybe it's because he's asking for too much money, but at the same time, like, why not the Buffalo? Why not give him a 1-year deal, 1-year veteran deal, decent amount of change, but at the same time, like, that's a great option for your offense. That is a running back that is a dual threat that can catch the ball very well. That is great in short yardage situations. That is going to be phenomenal for the Buffalo style offense that they're running now out there. And I mean, since Frank Gore, the Buffalo Bills have not had a good running back. They've had decent guys. They have not had a bona fide, very good top half of the league running back.
Yeah, it's an upgrade over losing Devin Singletary too, so I don't understand why they haven't picked him up either.
Right. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I don't and like I get that running backs, like, it is a very physical position, and even though offensive linemen, defensive linemen are hitting every play, you're not getting hit to the extent of a running back where, you're running full speed at someone who's running at you full speed. So injuries and a lower career length is common, but at the same time, like, that's why you pay these guys more up front. But the second they get off the rookie deals, no one wants to sign them because they're a ton of money and they're going to turn out like Ezekiel Elliott, you think. So
I think that's what some people kind of think about.
Oh, yeah. Right. The thing with every player's career, it's different. Not everyone's going to turn out like Ezekiel Elliott. Some might have like Hall of Fame trajectories, like Barry Sanders, Derrick Henry, Adrian Peterson, as we previously taught us. I mean, they're not all going to turn out like Ezekiel Elliott or.
I mean, is Derrick Henry he's great, but at the same time, what are his accolades? First team, all NFL, okay. A lot of Pro Bowls, yeah. No MVPs, no Offensive Player of the Years, no Super Bowls.
No Super Bowl appearances. Yeah.
Like,
But
Also
that's
hugely
not
big.
his fault on the Super Bowl stuff because
no, but it's
playing-
still it still comes against you when you go into the Pro Bowl, I guess. But at the same
True.
time, like,
I mean, if you look at his stats, 2016 was kind of a down year. I think that's because that was his rookie year. So 490 yards.
Mhm.
And then 2017, 744 yards. 2018, over 1,000. 2019, 1,500. 2020, he hit over 2,000. 2021, 900 yards because he got injured, I think. And then 2022, he went back to above like 1,000 at like 1,500 yards. And he was getting double-digit touchdowns since 2018.
I mean, true. So yeah, that will go for him. But at the same time, like, I would be worried about him getting some hardware. Like, again, it's not on. He's been playing out of his mind, one of the better running backs in the last 20 years. But at the same time, like, getting a Super Bowl or an MVP, which you need to be on a better team for, is kind of floating above him here. And as he's getting older, he's nearing his 30s, which obviously, as we're talking about for running backs, is not good.
Low.
Yeah.
Never is, especially with how physical that position.
But also at the same time, you see, like, 2 years ago, Jonathan Taylor was incredible. He had, 1 billion yards rushing for the Colts. And then this next season, kind of middle of the pack to low end of the pack for running backs. Like, running backs can have just...
Yeah, I know a lot of people that drafted Taylor first overall last season in their fantasy league.
There are ebbs and flows, and I feel like running backs are the highest because not only do you have to worry about their health, you have to worry about the offensive line and its effectiveness and that health, as well as the play calling. The modern NFL isn't set up for the running back, as we all know. Teams that run the ball primarily don't win unless they're playing the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. So,
QB sneaks.
Yeah, there's not a lot of threat from a running back nowadays, and at least from a scheme standpoint with the majority of the league. So not a lot of teams want to pay them a ton of money, which is kind of abysmal because these guys are getting hit the hardest. I think them or linebackers, one of the two.
And the weird part is, like, a lot of franchise tag players this year have not signed things. The only 3 so far have been Lamar Jackson with the Ravens, Daron Payne with the Commanders, and apparently Evan Engram even got a fucking $41 million deal with the Jaguars. So, it's just weird.
Loyalty doesn't mean anything anymore. It's all about the money. Which, as a Bengals fan, I'm very happy that Joe Burrow has come out and said he's going to take less money to keep the team together. Which for me is like, wow, I'm glad we have a class act guy like him.
Speak which, how do you feel about the Joe Mixon restructuring, by the way?
It shocked me. I could not believe Joe. I mean, obviously, seeing now the landscape of all the running backs not getting good deals, he took less money to stay in Cincinnati. Obviously his production's gone down a little, but he's still good. He's still like borderline Pro Bowler every year. So taking less money, especially from him, not to say that's a personal knock against it, but I just didn't expect it. Just came out there, took less money, wants to stay in the team, wants to be on a Super Bowl contending team year in and year out, and he's a big part of it. So I just hope we can get him as he gets older. I hope we can get him a good 2-back rotation. That's why we drafted that kid out of Illinois who ran all over Michigan for quite a bit. So hopefully that turns out well.
I wonder if part of it is because he was looking at the free agent market of the running backs, and he's seen that like not a lot of them signing. He's like, all right, let me make sure I still sign somewhere. I think that could be part of it.
Oh, he'll be great in even if he gets a little older. I think he'll be still great in a 2-back rotation.
Yeah, of course.
So, like last season, him and Pirine were amazing. Like him and this new kid out of Illinois, if he gels well, should be good as well. So, especially now that he's running toward the left side with Orlando Brown, and once he gets back, Lyle Collins too. So that'll be good.
Yeah, sure.
Other big news out of the NFL, as we said earlier in the show, Dan Snyder received a massive fine. I don't know if I've seen a fine of this magnitude in my life. $60 million fine after an NFL investigation, and this was right after This is basically coming straight out of the sale. So we sold the team. It was bought by the organization that is run through multiple different avenues, but the big head names for these is like Magic Johnson,
And Josh Harris.
and Josh Harris. Yes, they now own the Sixers as well as the Commanders, and is it the Washington Capitals or
I think it was New Jersey Devils.
Yeah,
New Jersey Devils? Devils, yeah. So they own like a lot of New England-esque, East Coast-esque era sports teams, and now they own the Commanders.
DC and Jersey aren't New England, but sure.
New England, East Coast. That's
Okay, East Coast.
Yeah.
North Atlantic, you mean?
Yeah. So the sale went through. I believe the team sold for like $2 bill, 2.6 bill,
6.5 bill. Yeah.
6 point. Never mind. 6.5 bill. I knew there was a 6 in there. I didn't realize it was the first one. So $6.5 billion with a B. The team sold. Yeah, and 60 million of that gets pulled out of the deal to Dan Schneider. Because of the investigative report that was done about the misconduct. Yeah.
That was that misconduct being $11 million the Commanders withheld in revenue that was supposed to be shared with the other teams, which is the usual pool that owners have, as well as, of course, consent was not allowed. A former employee by Dan Snyder. So.
Also, as well as what was that cheerleading video? He asked one of the film crews to film cheerleaders, then put all the parts together and call it the good stuff and send it to him.
The good stuff or the good bits, yeah.
The good bits, yeah. Quality guy in Dan Schneider, so I'm glad he's
salt of the
earth.
A man among men. I have to say.
I'm glad he's out of the NFL and we can get that over with.
But
and hopefully now
this deal and if any other investigations go on past this, we're still not going to hear the end of it for a while.
Yeah, I think now the Commanders can really focus, now that they have a good ownership core, about finally rebuilding this franchise. I mean, they have a young core already, so I mean, the best thing is that they need to get that stadium in Arlington going, move the team over there, hopefully rebrand and recolor the team, because again, the colors are horrible.
And thankfully, thankfully the news about another tumultuous football team owner that's been in the news recently has been quiet in the month we've been gone. Looking at you, AB.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, wait, hold on, wait, what?
Yeah.
Thank fucking God for that. I don't have any updates on that, which I'm grateful for.
Another thing that just came out today, actually, the Indianapolis Colts unveiled their secondary uniforms, which interesting. It's not horrible.
Too much blue.
I think
blue is one of their main colors.
It's weird.
You know
how?
What I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like the Color Rush jerseys, which the C is really cool. If you look at that C right there, if I can just scroll over to it, you see that? That's the state of Indiana inside a C. That's really good design.
Oh, I like that.
And then you have the horseshoe rivets
cool.
as the C, and it's also a horseshoe. That is very well done. If anything, I think that should be on. If anything, I think that should be on the helmet for these. But I'm not making it for jerseys.
Symbol. Like a sort of an alternate logo. I kind of like the sound of that.
Right, honestly. And teams are allowed to have alternate logos, so I don't know why you didn't use that for the helmet. But I think what could really help this is like that center stripe in between the white should be black to match the helmet, because it's just like the helmet doesn't match the uniform. It's kind of this flip-floppy thing.
I think there was also another couple teams that said they were going to wear some of their throwback ones. Like the Seahawks were one of them, and I love the look of the throwback style.
Throwbacks
they're going to be doing.
Seahawks. Oh, what was it? Detroit throwbacks? I think we talked about this one a few weeks
back.
Detroit
has throwbacks this year?
They're doing throwback. Oh, how many weeks ago was it? Fuck.
Yeah, let me pull up the Seahawks first.
Yeah, I love.
So first of all, as far as uniforms go, this is like a solid B minus. It's not bad. It's not great. It's it's all right. So the Seahawks unveiled their throwback jerseys that they're gonna wear for one game this season, and I think they're quite nice. I'm trying to find a image with actually the helmet, but I can't.
I'm also trying to find the image because the Patriots announced they're gonna wear their throwbacks for 2 games this year too.
Ooh, are they gonna have the old Patriots logo?
Yeah, the red one with the old Patriot logo. And
So
oh,
there's
there.
that. Not a.
Almost looks like the Lions' home uniforms in a way. If you don't see the little green stripe on the arms.
Yeah, but that was
This
from
is.
that was older too for the Seahawks. That was an older
But
Seahawks.
there we
Right?
go.
Yeah, this is a Photoshop that someone did once they announced it, but this is what it will look like. Which I like the helmet, and these colors are
Mhm.
very nice. I don't know how to look
It
on the
looks
field
clean.
because this green will really clash with that neon green of like the surrounding field and stuff. So unless the Seahawks plan to redo parts of the stadium wall for that one
Oh
week,
yeah, that neon stuff they added in the Legion of Boom days. I forgot about that.
yeah.
Yeah. It
So
looks
then,
clean.
yeah.
Very smooth.
Also, one of the best NFL uniforms of all time is coming back, and
Oh,
I'm
is it the
very happy.
creamsicles?
Oh yeah.
Is it the creams?
Oh, oh boy.
So
And
excited.
this is when Tom Brady retires, and Tampa Bay's gonna be shit again.
Yeah, definitely trying to throw it back to the Hugh Culverhouse era, I guess.
Get a better. Hold on, let me get a better image of this. There we go.
Oh, there you
Much
go.
better. Yeah, much better. Look at that.
Godwin
Creamsicle
looked
uniforms.
so happy to be
Amazing.
wearing that.
Oh,
Oh my god, that's why Brady retired.
He's looking at the like
Now-
why. He's looking at the text on that like why is this back? Why?
now one that I'm really confused about, which I don't get, is this.
Oh,
Is that Browns?
These are the
Yeah.
Browns all white uniforms, which seems like they're just copying the Bengals all whites. And this is kind of they're not doing anything with their new logo. It's just.
I mean, was it the Bengals a copy of the Browns when Paul Brown made the Bengals?
I mean, yeah,
that is true. That is true.
It's payback, bitch.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But again, our quarterback isn't a sex offender, so I don't care. Oh yeah. I guess we could show the Patriots.
Patriots won. They wore it a couple times last
Yeah,
year.
they've worn it
blowout against the
before.
Lions, but yeah, I think we're wearing it once on our first game with the Dolphins, and I forget what the second team is.
Yeah, this is a very. I
Yeah.
love this uniform scheme.
Iconic.
It's great, very iconic, very
Yeah.
good. And then we'll
Not
also
as like the Patriots are going to be this year. They are not going to be good. Not going to be good at all. That's the only bright spot for us as the start of the year. Especially with Jack Jones being a fucking idiot.
The alternate helmets for the Lions. Ugh. I actually posted back up in Discord what it looks like.
Pull them in the chat. Oh, jeez.
yeah,
I
it's
didn't realize they were sponsored by Greyhound.
Yeah, too metallic of a blue, too light. The Lion logo itself is okay. It's classic. But yeah, it's an interesting look. I don't know.
Looks like you got an AI program to try and design the Lions logo, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's too stretched.
Yeah. If anything, it's like a...
I can't think of any other uniforms that were released as far as others.
No.
Oh, the Vikings. Vikings had theirs.
They're doing one too?
Yeah. They will wear their classic uniforms.
Oh.
So the solid stripes on the shoulder, the very matte finish helmet. Like I think this is kind of a throwback to like the Purple People Eater kind of days.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like the Bud Grant.
And I love that. Not only the shape of the helmet, I love the old just dome helmets, not like when Peyton Manning's helmet head started getting squeezed into those like oblong, like pterodactyl Troy Polamalu, vampire Tyrannosaurus Terminator masks.
It's giving me Spaceballs vibes for some reason. The more I look at it.
No, but this I like it. I like the matte finish to the helmet. It's more dull of a look as far as the helmet goes, which is nice. The jersey is very clean. It's not too crazy. It's a very interesting look. Very nice look. I like the throwback. I like it.
It's not official, but there's some rumors saying that Eagles for alternate jersey due to Kelly Green.
That they need to go
Oh,
back. They need to go
I
back
missed-
to that. Just
Yes.
below or just above on the worst jersey and color combinations from the Commanders is the Eagles. That like really
The
dark
black
metallic green
The
and
green.
gray and white and black. Like there has to be something in your city that can give people a hope and a future and not remind them of the smog and villainy that they live within. And the Eagles colors just like you live in Philly. Ah, like just bring some happiness to it. Bring back the Randall Cunningham vibe, Stop it with the Terrell Owens give me the ball vibe, shoving it down your throat. I don't like the new Eagles colors.
Harsh there, buddy. Yeah,
I do not like the new Eagles uniforms. I don't.
And also be had like the old Eagles logo holding the football too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, also I think the Texans did one.
I thought they did
Texans
like a
be a throwback. They've only been around 20 years.
Well, not a throwback, but like a minor change. I thought.
Oh.
I haven't
No,
seen
they
that
haven't.
one.
No. I do wonder with them and the Titans. I think the Titans are the ones that could wear the Oilers uniforms.
Yes.
Yeah. The Texans
they
don't.
were the Oilers, so.
Right.
And also the color scheme is very similar between Titans and Oilers too.
Even though I like the new Chargers uniforms better,
Similar.
I think it'd be cool for them to go back for like one.
Oh, the powder blue.
Well, no, they wear powder blue now. If they went back for one game to like the old LT dark color, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be a cool one to go back to. Also, kid, if your camera is hell out of focus.
I don't know what the hell happened to it. Let me turn it off and turn it back on to see if that fixes it.
But yeah.
Nope.
Seahawks did a good throwback. I mean, the Cardinals haven't changed their uniform in God knows how long until this year, and it's horrible. So, yeah. Oh, I mean, the Cowboys can't really do throwbacks. Their uniform hasn't changed. The Jags, if they did an interesting new uniform, they have so many different uniforms they've had in so many different years. But I think going back to that Maurice Jones-Drew era, that would be a cool one. The really early Jacksonville Jaguars. Raiders can't really do a throwback. Their uniform hasn't changed since John Madden. Bengals already have an alternate. Browns have an alternate. I mean, the Bears, they haven't changed the uniform since, Abraham Lincoln's deathbed.
The Packers. Oh, Packers.
The Packers have some weird throwbacks. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I remember it was like a bluish.
They were like throwbacks to the Leatherheads, like Leatherhead throwbacks.
It was like a weird yellow, like brownish thing. Eagles had that blue yellow that was supposed to be back like in the 30s and 40s.
What I kind of would like to see is when it's like a throwback uniform that represents when you guys merged with the Steelers and became the Steagles.
Oh God, no.
That'd be cool if you guys did a game where it's like the Steelers and Eagles play, and every time you guys play, which is like once every, I think now it's 2 or 3 years with the new NFL scheduling.
Something like that.
Whatever. But whenever you guys play each other, you both actually wear the same uniforms, just one wears home, one wears away. And it's the Steagles game.
Oh, that'd be cool, actually.
I think it'd be cool. You could call it the Steagles Bowl.
Yeah.
Get a little trophy. It's a Steel Eagle.
Roger Goodell. Something to think about.
Yeah, something to think about, yeah. And NBA added a midseason tournament. Gotta do something, Goodell. Don't do that. All right. Anyway, this is a cool website that I've actually been using recently for NBA crossover grid. So I thought we'd do this now, since the news is kind of slow. We have other things we'll copy, but I think we'll segue to this real quick. So it's a row of 3x3, and you have to match 2 of the spots. So I'll just do, for example, here, 11 reception touchdowns in a single season. I think I can easily do Julio Jones in the Falcons category.
Oh, sure.
What?
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 May like reload it to make sure it's like working right.
Try a refresh.
Julio
there we go.
Jones.
I'll make sure you pick the right person.
Julio Jones.
Really?
Okay,
Oh,
maybe
shit.
Roddy White?
It's...
Okay, that
Okay,
worked.
Roddy White,
Yeah.
11 reception touchdowns in a single season. Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice, of course.
And then 11 plus reception touchdowns in a single season, and as a top 10 draft pick in the NFL. I think I can just say Jamar Chase.
I guess you could.
Maybe?
Oh yeah, there's way too many Chase.
Yeah, Jamar Chase.
Top 10 pick for the Dolphins. Well, Baker for Cleveland, Tua for the Dolphins.
Johnny Manziel.
Oh, you could have done Johnny. This is Tua, right?
Yep, Tua.
Oh, I was about to... No, Marino wasn't a top 10 pick. That's right. I'm thinking...
Well, he could...
Marino.
No, I don't think Marino was a top 10, actually.
All right, so now we have the hard part here, which is Falcons and Browns and Niners, and then Falcons and
49ers and Dolphins. You could do was it Jeff Wilson Jr. that was traded to them last year? It's not even showing up. What the fuck?
Yeah. Maybe. Oh, and let me see how his name is spelled.
No, it should be like that though. It's okay.
You never know.
Shit, I don't know then.
Niners and Browns. So I'm not as good with NFL players and going back into history as I am with basketball. So this is where it's going to be a struggle.
Not Jeff Garcia.
Hell no.
No. He went to... if I remember it.
Wasn't there a running back that played for the Niners that just went to the Dolphins?
Yeah, it was him.
Mostert.
Raheem Mostert, yeah.
No. Well, or was he from Dolphins to San Fran? But I guess it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Raheem Mostert. Try Raheem No, that's not how you spell it.
I mean, I don't know how to spell it. M-O...
Just put in Raheem, his first name. R-A-H...
E-E-M. M-O-S-T.
R-A-H-E-E.
No, it's E-E.
Oh, E-E.
M.
There you
Mostert.
go. There he is.
There he is. And it gives you the percentage of people that pick these options. So we haven't gotten anything crazy yet. Our lowest right now is both Baker and Jamar Chase. Okay, Raheem Mostert.
What they went with for the other ones.
I feel like there was a lineman. No, Jake Matthews has always been on the Falcons. He hasn't been on the Browns.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Falcons, Dolphins players.
Fuck.
Yeah, this is difficult. You think these are easy, but no. We're only need 3 more. Oh man, Niners
and Browns. Damn, I can't.
Was Denzel Ward?
Ooh, I gotta turn on my AC.
Denzel Ward. I feel like Denzel Ward played for the Niners.
Oh yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, but he played for the Browns. That's the only problem.
Okay, then.
No, he didn't. He didn't play for the Niners.
I know you played for 49ers, but I didn't think you played for Browns.
No, Denzel Ward plays for the Browns.
Oh, but that
he did play for the Niners. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Denzel Ward. Nope.
Okay. Oh, for Falcons and Dolphins, didn't they have like a former defensive end that went to them a couple years ago? Fucking.
I'm not good with names. Fuck me.
We need 3 more. This is killing us.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm trying to remember his name.
Browns have had a lot of quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks.
Oh, Charles Harris. Yeah.
8.6%. Look at that.
That's a.
So two more. We need two Browns players, one that has also played for the Falcons and one that's also played for the Niners.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm Josh Jacobs.
No,
No.
He's always been with the Raiders.
Look, there was a running back. Or not Josh Jacobs. Who was the really good Joshua Cribbs. Joshua Cribbs.
Oh, how long ago was that? Oh, fuck.
No idea.
I kind of want to look some of this up. I was like,
Yeah, but you don't want to, you know. I don't think Cribbs ever went to the Falcons.
Right.
You can try it. Nope, didn't.
Nope.
Ah. Browns receivers. Odell, no.
Odell never played with them. Amari Cooper is a no.
Because he was Cowboys.
Yeah.
Peyton Hillis went to the Broncos before.
Okay.
No. Quarterbacks. Kyle O'Quinn is the name I remember. Colt McCoy.
We have to name all the quarterbacks of the Browns.
Colt McCoy was
right,
one.
We're gonna be here the rest of the night then.
Yeah.
Did Colt McCoy ever play in the Falcons?
I don't think so.
Maybe we need to think of Falcons players and.
What about no? I don't think Tim Couch ever played with them either.
Bernie Kosar always played for the Browns.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of famous Browns. Obviously, Joe Thomas.
Definitely not Johnny
Browns.
Football.
No.
Josh Whedon? No, he went to Patriots.
There's also no to Hoyer then, because I think he had a stint with the Browns.
I feel like there was a good Browns running back 1 or 2 years ago. Can't remember his name. Obviously not Chubb or Hunt.
Oof.
I'm feeling. Can't remember his name. Nope. This is tough.
Yeah.
Niners. Famous Niners players. Ronnie Lott.
Jeff Garcia.
Played for the Browns?
I think so.
I thought he went to like Saints, Eagles, and someone.
Wow, Jeff Garcia. Whoa. There we go.
I did not know he played for the Browns.
I also didn't know he played for the Eagles.
Yes, he did for like
there.
1
All right,
year.
last square here. Browns and Falcons. Robert Griffin III never played with the Falcons.
Did he play for the Browns? I don't remember.
He did.
For a year, if I remember right.
Terrell Pryor? It's just so hard to remember Falcons players because they're usually ass. Their teams have been bad. Oh gosh.
What about Tack McKinley? I remember him being on the Falcons. I think he might have been with the Browns.
Tack McKinley?
No, Tack. T-A-K something.
Oh.
There he is.
Oh.
Wow. 6.6. Tack McKinley.
That was a shot in the dark, but okay.
Bing, bing,
Yeah, I
bing, bing,
know.
bing. There we go. Look at that. We
Damn.
completed it.
Oh, neat.
Huh. Wow. Yeah, Tack McKinley, Jeff Garcia, Baker Mayfield, Mozart Harris, Tagovailoa, Roddy White, Jerry Rice, Jamar Chase. Ugh, that was a struggle for those upper four in the left corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know like the 11 touchdowns with the Falcons. I thought it would be.
Yeah, now here's one Macedon
I
might
thought
like.
so too.
Oh,
I
that's
have literally
tough.
no idea.
I can't remember names and those. Oh fuck!
I
And
don't
that's a lot
follow
of
the
West Coast,
NHL enough
and
to
that's
know about
West
this,
Coast
but
too. So it's
Also,
even
like
worse for
I
me.
like the Stars, but I don't know. I don't.
It's even worse for me because that's West Coast, and I don't.
Oh, isn't this one of the Morrow twins?
Moro?
Isn't that one of their names? Morrow?
Are you? I know there's the Sedin twins, but they never played for either of those.
Marlowe.
Teams. Patrick Marlowe? No, he was just San Jose and not Dallas at all.
I remember him with the Sharks. Never.
Joe Thornton.
Did he play with the
I thought he
Stars,
played for San Jose. Joe Thornton. Yeah. Try that.
Yeah, played for San Jose. He didn't play
I
for
don't
the
remember him playing
Stars.
with the Stars.
I thought
If this was Stars Blues, I could do Brett Hall. And then this, I know Phil Kessel played for the Coyotes and Penguins, but this is the Blackhawks, and I don't like any of their players. Yeah, I'm no.
That's a tough one, especially with
NBA.
does
Yeah.
it update every? Is it update every day?
Yeah, it updates every day at 8 or 9. So
Okay.
it's quite a fun little thing. Any other news that we should cover here while we're here, KDuff?
I could go over some legal stuff. Starting off, which I wish we could go back to the days when Patriots news was positive, but we could start out with one of the first news stories that happened after our break, where cornerback Jack Jones was arrested at Boston's Logan Airport after TSA found 2 loaded guns and a large capacity magazine in his bag. Which that just sounds like a fucking idiot thing. And also big case of foot and mouth after he, like about a month before this situation, tweeted at John Morant for his situation involving waving guns in public. We've got a assault charge against Raiders wide receiver Devontae Adams dropped. This was in regards to a game last October against the Chiefs where he shoved some guy on the sideline. That's the Chiefs super fan. I don't know if you guys have been following this story. The Chiefs aholic guy. Yeah, he was finally arrested in California after spending 4 months on the run by the FBI. He was wanted and actually arrested in connection with a bank robbery in Tulsa. Was supposed to have a court date back in March, but skipped it and also removed his ankle monitor, and has apparently for like the past few months just been on the run and basically just laundering any money he stole at multiple Midwestern casinos. Let's see. We've got Saints running back Alvin Kamara reaching a plea deal in his assault case which knocks his $10 million lawsuit and felony battery charge into a quote, $100,000 fine, community service, and a misdemeanor breach of peace charge, which that's a funny way of saying, like, I got away with breaking a dude's orbital bone and sending him to the hospital, but sure. And then just last night, Vikings rookie wide receiver Jordan Addison was cited for driving over 140 miles an hour over the speed limit outside of St. Paul, Minnesota. Which, that's just dangerous in general, especially considering not only the Henry Ruggs case a few years back, but that somebody else's draft class was also in connection with some reckless driving and speeding and shit like that, and Jalen Carter.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
Not good. Not smart at all either.
Yeah. I mean, that's the NFL news as of recently.
Well, there's also one thing I could make you guys laugh about. Carson Wentz is eager to play this year. But that's not the punchline. He's been spending the offseason so far practicing in Tampa, not with the Bucks, just in Tampa. And he's been looking at a studying film with a former head coach, John Gruden. Which just screams like success if you're looking to Chucky to try and revive your career
as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Who does Wentz even play for now?
Nobody.
No one. He's a free agent right now. Since he got released by the commies. Other than that, we've got the sports betting situation that also happened while we were gone. A lot of suspensions, long and short term, for players being caught wagering on NFL or just sports games in general. So far, the short-term ones between 4 to 6 games involve suspensions for Titans offensive tackle Nicholas Petit-Frere, Lions wide receivers Jameson Williams and Stanley Berryhill, and Jaguars offensive tackle Cam Robinson. Well, we've got some longer ones for a year or indefinite for Colts cornerback Isaiah Rodgers, linebacker Rashad Berry, and free agent defensive tackle Demetrius Taylor. So they're cracking down on that hard.
Well, if I remember hearing about the long suspensions, that's because they also betted on their teams. Like they did this during when they played on those teams. So it's like,
betting on
games. Sports betting just shouldn't be a thing.
It really shouldn't, especially if you're, did any athlete learn nothing after the whole Pete Rose thing back in the 80s or 90s?
Apparently, there's a lot more stuff with the Pete Rose hire than just the betting. There was a lot more other shit. There was a video I watched called "Baseball Doesn't Exist." That's the YouTube channel. He went over
I've seen
Pete
his
Rose.
stuff before.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We also got a few. Also, shout out to. I know we didn't really follow it after saying we were going to cover it, but the USFL, they wrapped up their season. Congrats to the Birmingham Stallions for winning their championship over the Pittsburgh Maulers, was it?
Yeah, Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah. And as a result, a lot of USFL players are now getting signed by teams, the first of which was Maulers linebacker Reuben Foster. And if that name sounds familiar, he was a first-round pick by the 49ers in 2017. He didn't really do much for the Niners. He was widely considered a bust and was last playing in the NFL in 2020 for Washington. But it sounds like he had a decent season with the Maulers, and Steelers are going to treat them as their farm team, I guess, so they picked him up. The Jaguars also made a signing in Houston Gamblers tight end Josh Peterson. He's the son of their head coach, so that I feel like there is a bit of Doug Peterson.
Bit of a bias.
A little bit.
Just a little.
Yeah. Cowboys also had, and then a couple of the champion Stallions got signed. First was a kicker Brandon Aubrey to the Cowboys. He's going to compete against Tristan Vizcaino in training camp. But the big one that our absent friend Gorlami taught us about was Alex Bago, quarterback. He's going to the Packers on a deal where he's going to compete for a backup spot with rookie Sean Clifford and already on the team backup Danny Etling. Behind Jordan Love.
That's gonna be tough with Sean Clifford. That Sean Clifford is a Big Ten watcher. Clifford was a very, very good quarterback for Penn State. They had some ups and downs, but at the same time has been there so long. He knows the game very well. And if he can translate that to the NFL, he'll be a phenomenal backup and could even have a chance as a pretty good starter here and there. So that'd be a tough spot.
I also didn't really know too much about McGowan until I looked into it a little bit deeper. Apparently, this is his second stint in the NFL. He first started in 2018 as a seventh-round pick for the Seahawks, but didn't really see much playing time. Was mostly a practice squad player. So yeah. I
also saw might be more rumor or anything or something, but reports were coming out that the Rams were upset at Matthew Stafford because he does not want to restructure his contract.
Really?
And he's still getting paid those big lion dollars.
I mean, if I'm getting money from both teams, wouldn't want to restructure either.
Well, I mean, the amount of money is still the contract he would have gotten if he was on the Lions, you know?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and the Rams aren't exactly poised to go for another run. I mean, they still have Cooper Kupp, and they still have Aaron Donald, who's still got a 99
That's what happens when you say, fuck them picks, Rams.
Yeah. Is this what you really envision? Let's need one championship for all that first-round picks?
You got a championship. It's worth it. Coming from a Bengals fan, if we got one championship and then we went 0-16 the next or 0-17 the next season, fuck it. Give me it. You know how bad we won a ring? And was that the Rams' first ring?
No,
Yes,
they
Or-
no,
that's
they've
not
had a
their first
couple.
repeat. That
Oh,
was their
second, because Kurt
third-
Warner was the
Yeah,
first.
the Kurt Warner thing.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
sure,
20-year break, but in the case of your Bengals, you haven't won the game. You've made it to 3
Yeah.
times and still haven't won.
Yeah. I mean, ran into fucking the Niners twice and now the Rams. If we
Well,
don't
me and
play a
Matt-
California team, we win. I guarantee it. Fuck California, man. Shit.
Oh yeah, I was there a couple months ago for work.
Right.
Yeah, fuck
Speaking
California.
of well, going back to signing. Speaking of the Rams, they added on a new running back or repeat running back in Sony Michel. They brought him back on a 1-year deal for a second stint with the team. Jets also added on yet another former Packer, safety Adrian Amos on a 1-year deal. This is following an ACL injury to Chuck Clark in practice that puts him out for the year. So they had to fill his role. I feel like this explains to me why the Patriots didn't sign Hopkins, because they extended Devontae Parker on a 3-year, $33 million deal. A guy who's only good at situational things and can't separate to save his life, sure. But they did extend Juwan Bentley, which I liked. His was a 2-year, $18.75 million deal. Finally, oh yeah, the big one. Jets locked up defensive tackle Quentin Williams with a 4-year, $96 million extension, 66 guaranteed. This is
well
the
deserved.
largest extension in their franchise history and second most in NFL history for a DT behind Aaron Donald.
Yeah, he is. He's very good. He is very good.
That Jets defense is going to be really good again.
Yep. And then let's see. Last but not least, we've got Steelers extending linebacker Alex Highsmith on a 4-year, $68 million deal with $38 million guaranteed over the first 2 years.
Wait, Steelers doing guaranteed money? What the fuck?
I know, I found that weird too. The Jets announced that they're going to waive wide receiver Denzel Mims if they can't find him a trade partner. And the Browns have released defensive tackle Perrion Winfrey after he was named by Cleveland PD as a suspect in a recent aggravated robbery incident.
Yikes.
Let me to bring it down a little bit, but we also have some passings from former players in the time we've gone. One that's kind of close to me, quarterback Ryan Mallett, who passed away at the age of 35 after drowning at a beach in Florida. He was drafted by the Patriots in 2010 and spent time with the Ravens and Texans over a 7-year career. He's credited with one of the best college careers for a quarterback in SEC history with 8,300 passing yards and 69 touchdowns while he was with Arkansas. He's also the only Patriots player I've ever actually gotten an autograph from. I was at a training camp day when they were I think it was the 2012 season. I got to see like a bunch of the players we had out there. Like I was this close to getting an autograph from Brady when he was passing by, but he signed my brother's hat instead. And a fat guy pushed me out of the way to get his jersey signed. So I settled for Mallett, but it was cool. It was honestly a cool time. And unfortunately, I don't have that anymore because I moved 2 years ago and found a whole box of shit I had on one of my shelves went missing, and the hat was in that. So missed out on that. And
the only Bengals player I've ever met was Leon Hall. He was a cornerback out of Michigan that played for them during their like Burfict, Parson Palmer days.
Yeah, and then the former defensive tackle Darren Drozdov passed away at the age of 54. He didn't really make much of noise in the 90s when playing for the Jets, Eagles, and Broncos, as well as the CFL's Montreal Alouettes. He's more well known for changing careers to be a professional wrestler, where unfortunately during SmackDown 90-99 he had an injury that left him paralyzed, and then spent the remaining part of his life as a sports and wrestling writer in his home state, New Jersey. So
WWE in the 90s was unhinged.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. And I think that's all I've got actually for news.
Yeah, well, it took a whole month off, and that's the extent of the news we have, and we covered it all in just under an hour now.
Yeah. Actually, were they able to squeeze an hour out of that? I'm surprised.
Yeah. Doesn't training camp start this week or next week?
Some teams, I believe, are starting training camp.
It depends. Teams can kind of pick what days they start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they start soon, within this week or next. They will all start.
Yeah.
So yeah. then you'll see so many stories swirling about like, oh, this is
everything-
Stenson Bennett's the
everything's
next
gonna come out like,
Tom Brady.
This guy's
Ah,
so
oh
good.
my
This guy-
goodness.
He already tore his ACL. He's out for the year. Never mind.
No, they're fighting in practice. Oh, hard knocks. Oh.
Oh yeah, the fucking hard knocks
the
thing I forgot
Jets.
about. Like that. Like apparently the Jets. A lot of Jets players.
There's
don't
gonna be
wanna-
so many clips of like just you're like in a team meeting and they're all watching film and just like you see back in the corner there's a hooded figure and it's just like Aaron Rodgers just like
Yeah, and there's gonna be a lot of them that are just gonna be like you're just gonna see-
Wayludes.
It's just gonna be fucking Lazard or Kyle like walking off the field and just be like, get that camera out of my face.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
What
be
is
on
this?
shit.
They're like, what is this thing? It's a camera. Oh, we didn't have these in Green Bay. No one. What are these things? But yeah, next week for the Football Stooges, we will have our fantasy picks. As far as our team setup, we'll have to figure out what we're going to do about all the running back situations. But it is what it is. We might give everyone an extra slot, and you have to pick. We might do this. We might give everyone an extra slot to pick. Like, we'll extend the size of your roster by 1, and your last pick of the draft has to be a running back that is holding out on a deal.
If there's enough,
It's gotta be
running
like some
backs.
sort of.
There's
handicap.
5. There's 5.
There is 5. Oh,
So there's 5 of us. So there has to be 5 running backs. So Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook technically
Cook.
isn't signed, and then there's got to be one more. There's got to be a 5th. There's got to be a 5th. Who's the 5th? Oh, is it Hunt or no?
Kareem Hunt. I think he's still on
No, it's already
contract with
signed.
the
He's
Browns.
unsigned. Oh, there's got to be one more. There's got to be one more.
hold on. I'm actually trying to see. No, he's on contract now. What the fuck?
I'm looking too.
Pollard. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott. He's a free agent.
Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard. Why are they saying Miles Sanders is still free agent?
I thought he re-signed with you guys.
No, he signed with Carolina. Oh, this was back in
Oh,
March.
right.
Sorry, I was looking at something.
Okay.
Like, the fuck.
And then Dalvin Cook's the other one, so we need that 5th one. It could just end up being Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott is a running back, and he is a free agent. So you could just get the short end of the stick and be stuck
Oh,
with
God.
I'll just say Najee Harris, but it's just him commenting about the
Yeah,
situation.
he won't,
Yeah,
hold
there has
out.
been.
Yeah, he's still.
So I
a
think
rookie.
that's the 5. So you got 2 free agents, Zeke and Dalvin Cook. Then you also have the 3 holdouts, which are Jacobs, Barkley, and Jacobs, Barkley, and
What was this?
who was the other one?
Jacobs,
Ah.
Barkley, and Pollard.
Pollard. Well,
And who knows? This might change. Like who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Like 1 week
Yeah.
from now, 1 or 2 of these guys might get a deal or
Right.
sign with another team.
yeah, so we'll have that show for you next week. So that show will primarily be just the draft. It won't be long. There's only 5 of us. We'll probably only do how many slots deep does the fantasy drafts even go? Usually like 11.
The one I linked in chat that me and Mamba did last year, I think that one is like 12 players or something like that. And not
Yeah,
for,
what I
like,
did with some
Yeah.
friends
running
before,
backs.
it was like QB, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a flex. They did offensive
a
play.
flex, a
God
flex, a
damn it.
tight end, defense, and a kicker. Or special.
Yeah.
We're not going to do offensive player, right?
Offensive
My
what?
friend's offensive player. So it could be any position on the offense.
Oh no, flex is usually was
No.
just like a receiving position of some
I
kind.
know,
so it
but
could be
no,
running back,
I-
tight end, or
but-
wide receiver. So
So
yeah,
I'm saying my friends from college added in offensive player also.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm always and I got second at first before without using a QB in that position. Everybody else was putting QBs in it. I was not.
all right. But yeah, I guess that wraps up this episode for us. We're like going to be right at the hour mark, believe it or not. So yeah, the news has been slow, but again, next week fantasy football draft coming your way. We'll give you more episodes as stuff come as the offseason progresses. But again, this is a very iffy period on real NFL news, and people are just hungry for the NFL, and they're trying to scrape what they can out of nothing. So we'll give you
It'll be
what
less
news.
blurry next time.
Yeah, we'll give you what news needs to be told to you, and we'll try to limit all the fluff. But for myself, for Macedon, and for K-Duff, Thank you for joining the Football Stooges. We hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and follow us on this platform where we post these videos, at least during the season, every Friday. Stay tuned next week for the Fantasy Draft. Have a good week. And as always, run the damn ball. Have a good night.